Okay, welcome back to part two, my story of how I survived Lyme disease. So where I was up to was in the hospital and they did every test possible. And anyway, came in for this MRI scan on my brain and they said, we'll let you know in a day. So my wife's driving us back home, 2 hour drive. And he phones, I think 20 minutes we was in the car and he phones and he said, I thought I'd phone you because I don't think it was right that you waited 24 hours, waiting to find out if you had brain cancer. And he said your brain was clear of cancer. And I just broke down crying. I'll tell you what, I won't deny it. I completely broke down in the car, the relief. And so he said that's only left Lyme disease, and I'm afraid, he said, we can't do anything about it because it's gone on too long. So I said, what the hell am I supposed to do? He said, well, only your own immune system can defeat it, and that depends on how good your immune system is. And he said, but prepare yourself that you may be having to live in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. And that was hard to hear. And they sent me home on New Year's Eve. The doctor came to talk to me. And he sat down and he said to me, listen, Arthur, because get this, it's really interesting what he said to me. He said, listen, Arthur, I've been working here for 13 years. And patients come in with illnesses and they think that we find the illness and they give them a tablet and that'll fix them. And he says, and 99% of the time, that's actually what happens. We can give them a tablet and they get on with their life, he says. But then there's that 1% that comes in that we can't do anything for. I'm afraid that you're that 1%. And I'm sorry, he said, because I've tried everything and there's nothing we can do for you. Well, I thought that's just typical of my life, that we won't find a cure there. Hello, good dag. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do? Because the pain was just getting worse and worse, and I didn't have a clue what to do. So do I just accept this? So anyway, I had one thing going for me in my life, and that is that I'm very, very good at chemistry. In school, I loved chemistry, chemistry and how chemicals work together have always made sense to me. They've never been a mystery. It always makes sense of how, and when I was in chemistry class and we'd do chemical formulas, putting two elements together and how they worked out, I used to be able to predict the answer before the teacher even finished the formula. That's how good I was at it. So I started buying books on body chemistry and also on diseases, but it was very difficult to find things on Lyme disease until finally I found this book written by Stephen Buhner, his name is, who's like a professor of herbal medicine or something. And I think he himself actually had Lyme disease and cured himself, but that I'm not sure. So I ordered that book and I read it right through. And of course it was full of information about chemistry and how things work on the body. So it was brilliant. I just absorbed that book. And I found, I designed a protocol based on that book that I believed would cure me of the Lyme disease. And it did, but it took a long, long time, about a year, I would say. So that book and that professor saved my life because today I'm Lyme free and completely healthy. I play golf, as you can see. I've got my golf hat on today, and I'm a 7 handicap, and that's just a miracle really, considering at one time I couldn't even lift my arm. I couldn't open a bottle of cola. That's how weak I was. So that's the story. But how did I actually do it? And I thought I could give some advice to people who might have Lyme disease, or if you fear you might get it. Where am I now? I'm just going to pause it there and do a part 3.